And welcome to Cruise Control Motoring, your on-air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. I'm Fred Staab. It's time to head out and check out what's going on in the automotive industry. Some new vehicles, new trends, maybe a look into the future. And along with me, as always, is Les Jackson. Les, how you doing?
Excellent, Fred. Excellent. And we are looking hard at the industry these days because things are happening.
Yes, they are happening, and we're going to start out with potentially a good story. Are they back? Well, Nissan gets ready with a new Xterra, Pathfinder, and Frontier. Yeah. They are going body on frame for tough trucks, and these should be arriving around the 2028 model year. So we'll kick that around, and is this a good idea?
I'm encouraged by this, but we'll talk about it. Meanwhile, minivan mania, sales of the minivan, much maligned minivan, they continue to climb. We're happy about this, Fred and I, because they're very practical, and it's a shame they had such a bad image.
They did, but I think what's driving it is while they are very expensive, they're around $50,000, $60,000. SUVs, large SUVs that would typically kind of compete with that for buyers' attention are probably $20,000 or $30,000 more. So
yeah,
so this is what's causing this. So we'll talk about that, and then Les, question for you: only one car has sold 50 million units. Do you know what that car is?
I do. And it's a whole lot of units. The first one that sold 15 million was the Model T Ford. I'm not going to tell you what this 50 million is yet. The second was the VW Beetle.
All right.
This one, way beyond those guys.
Way beyond that. And you know what? BMW says it doesn't matter what you want. We're going to keep selling subscriptions, whether you like it or not. Although they do say it was a bad idea to try to go monthly on heated seats. But
yeah. I resent being told what I have to pay to have something that I paid for. Anyway. We'll get back to that. Anyway, Hyundai has big plans for its N Performance division. That should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. A lot more vehicles heading out into that division. So we'll kick it around and see what models might get the N Performance treatment. Plus, whiplash testing. Is it the next safety frontier? IIHS is started to do this testing. We'll tell you some of the vehicles that scored well on this inaugural whiplash test.
Yep. It's about time, frankly. We'll talk about that quite a bit. And guess what, Fred? Chevy is bringing back the Grand Sport, and it's going to have big cubic inch power. Now we're going back many years, and I think this is just cool.
Yeah, it is coming to the Corvette lineup. They say it's going to be the most popular model. Believe it or not, the engine, which displaces 409 cubic inches.
409.
409. It's going to be called the LS6.
LS6, okay.
And 550 horsepower, but we'll tell you a little bit more about it. All that and more when we get rolling on this edition of Cruise Control Motoring.
Well, there's good news, Fred. The Nissan Xterra and a few other things are arriving in 2028 alongside body-on-frame Pathfinders and Infinity variants. This is really encouraging for Nissan, and I can't tell you how optimistic I feel about this. Things have been real bad with them, as we all know, and as you and I have talked about. But it's looking good.
Yeah, it is. And just to recall the Xterra, a very capable off-roader, uh, based on the Frontier, which has always been a popular model. And the next one, they say, will be kind of wild looking. It's not going to be like a just another SUV. It is going to be uh, off-road capable and have some very unique styling. So it's nice to see that come back. And
It
then
is.
it sounds like the Pathfinder is going to return to the old days of body on frame, huh?
This is interesting. Since everything went to Monocoque non-frame for lightness and stiffness, this is back to body on frame, and I guess, that helps more with the off-road capabilities.
Yeah.
Um, and there are some regulations that you can get around, but we won't go into that. So yeah, I'm anxious to see what they do.
Yeah, this comes from The Drive. They spoke to Nissan President CEO Ivan Espinoza, and he said Nissan is back. We've got plenty of new product in the pipeline. And, he talked about the Xterra. There was a Xterra kind of concept custom build by a guy named Nick Scher. He's known as Nismo Nick. And that was shown at the
Yeah.
2025 SEMA show. It was kind of like an old Xterra with the new Frontier front on it. And it's kind of exciting. I mean, I think they want to play in this Bronco and Wrangler
Yeah.
area. Wrangler, of course, sales are Broncos catching up with it. Wouldn't they like to have a player in that category, right?
Yeah, you need. It's not that the Wrangler is a bad vehicle. It isn't. It's the most popular, but you kind of root for the guys that want to take away a part of that market. So
Well, and I'm always for innovation and
me too.
competition. It's going to
Me
lead
too.
to better vehicles for everybody and more choices too. So pretty excited. I'd like to see the Xterra come
Yeah.
back, and I think that's the type thing that is going to make Nissan stand out. And people say, "Hey, that is a unique vehicle. That's a reason to come in." Frontier, still people love the Frontier because it's kind of one of the more basic models. Of course, you can go up to the Roush models and things like that, but you can get a basic Frontier truck yet that is kind of ready for work, and I think weirdly that's become kind of a selling point to be able to get
Yeah.
a less high end model. Yes, you can get their high end levels of trim, but you can also get a fairly basic one. So good
Yeah.
news, right?
You can still get rubber floor mats, right?
I believe you can. I'd have to
Yeah.
check online, but I believe you can. Hey, let's go over to a pretty interesting story. Some sales numbers are in. And over at Kia, they are celebrating with a Carnival. Well, their Carnival minivan. This is, I kind of think, a sea change. Everything is kind of like a big circle. Minivan sales are surging, believe it or not. And the big winner, of course, is the Kia Carnival. Sales grew by 60% from 3,665 to 5,879, comparing January of last year to this year. And that is a huge increase. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a minivan that's designed to look sort of like an SUV, right?
It does look SUV-ish, except in person, you realize it's a minivan. It has all those attributes,
Yeah.
which I think are very advantageous.
Mm-hmm.
They're comfortable. And they outsold the Odyssey, which is no mean feat.
Yeah.
So this is great. Meanwhile, Chrysler's still doing okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chrysler is doing okay. The model I think needs a refresh, but it's still
oh
selling
yeah,
well. So um, I believe they're going away from the plug-in hybrid Pacifica because they are basically getting out of the plug-in hybrid market, which is sad because that's a great thing I think, and probably ill-timed, but it is more of a corporate move. Uh, but sales of all of these vehicles are up, including the Toyota Sienna, which is a hybrid-only platform. Um, and I think people are seeing the value here because they realize that they can get everything that they really need, and many of these are available with all-wheel drive, but they can get everything that they really need to haul their family around in for maybe $20,000 less than a large SUV. What do you
that's
think?
right. That's right. Because you don't have to worry about going off road in it.
No, and
Uh,
they are many of them are all-wheel drive, and
yeah,
all-wheel drive enough to get through snow and things like that. Um,
and the even the entry level Chrysler Voyager sales improved by 31%. I have to be honest, I didn't even realize they were still selling the Voyager.
it's sort of now like a decontented um, Pacifica.
Pacifica. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
It's not the old body style, which they stayed with for a long time. But it is a kind of a decontented Pacifica, but still nice and still
Yeah.
plenty, you know. Now, who's getting into the minivan world? Well, it is the folks over at Mercedes. They're going to have a VLE class. They promise it to be the most luxurious minivan ever made,
Hmm.
even higher than the Pacifica Pinnacle, which is pretty nice. I've been in one of those, and that is pretty high end. Um, so it's heating up. Everything kind of goes into circle, though, doesn't it? It
Yep.
these things were hated for no real reason other than people thought, well, that's going to show that I have a family. But if you have a family, then
Well, y-
yeah, it's. I just think it's the best choice. But I don't want to talk for everybody. But if you're getting kids in and out of vehicles, it's easier to get in and out of a minivan, isn't it?
uh, as the old song says, everything old is new again.
Well, I agree. I think that is a
I'm happy. I've always thought minivans were just a great choice for overall uh, adaptability.
yeah.
And of course they had a bad reputation, mostly from women, just saying, well, I don't like the image. Which okay, I understand that. But
That's like
th-
saying I don't like the image of using a hammer to put nails in, so I'm gonna
exactly,
so I'm
yeah,
gonna use a screw gun on the nails.
that's right.
The
Because
screw,
because
it's cooler.
it's a neater tool.
Yeah, uh,
Doesn't work on
it is a tool. It is a tool, and I really don't. I don't know why. It's kind of interesting because when you look at it, kind of, and this is a big major kind of overarching statement that may not be true, but a lot of people I know in the suburbs kind of move in a pack. You get this model car, I get
Yep,
this model
yep,
car.
yep.
And somehow someone thought the minivan was no good because everyone had minivans. If you would see,
Every house
yeah,
had at least a minivan in the driveway.
yeah.
But, and then
And
you
then
got a whole bunch
suddenly
of
they
this.
didn't. Like suddenly they said,
Yeah,
I need a pickup truck based full size SUV for some reason.
yeah, and talk about something impractical and inefficient for the average three-bedroom household. There's a monster minivan SUV
Hmm.
that is a fuel guzzling, you know, just a depreciating asset as it sits there. I mean, I see them everywhere here. I never, ever see them with a family in them. I always see them with one person driving it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you think? Will it continue? Will the minivan mania come back with new models and, light features like people liked in the
Yep.
crossovers, like all-wheel drive? And who knows? We'll have to see. But Kia is really doing well, and
They
with the
sure are.
Carnival, and I'm sure they're happy about that too. And let's face it, they made it look sort of like the Telluride, so that makes sense too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, quiz time, Les Jackson. One vehicle sold 50 million copies in its total time. It started in 1966, this model. What vehicle is it?
Well, I know what it is, and I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
I actually knew somebody who had a 66 Toyota Corolla,
Mm-hmm.
which was a basic car back then. It's
Yeah.
not like today's Corolla. It was more like a Pinto, even if that. It was a very, very basic Japanese car, very cheap, very reliable, plain on the inside, like you just can't describe. It's,
We get a
the,
seat and a steering wheel, and that's about it.
the door panels were flat. They did
They
have
really were a door
armrests.
card. They were made out of
They
cardboard.
were a door card. But I mean, but this is typical of like entry level stuff back then.
Right.
So that's what they brought over. But what they brought with them was a drivetrain that just wouldn't quit.
Yep.
And that's what people want. Not to mention very, very good gas mileage in the 30s.
It started with a model called the Toyo Pet.
The Toyo Pet. That's
And
right.
that didn't sell well because no one understood what that name was. Maybe, marketing. It was a little too Japanese at the
Very
time.
important.
Yeah. And then when they changed over to Corolla, it was a new design, much more suited to American drivers. And it could keep up. It had enough power to keep up with traffic. Which is important in any car. There have been 12 different generations. Can you believe that?
12 generations, but we're looking at 60 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
actually 60 years. And at the time, people thought they were, well, why is this person buying that? When they could buy a Corvair or a Falcon or a Valiant.
Yes.
But these things got much better mileage. They were easy to park. They were cheap.
Yeah.
And everyone I saw back in those days was yellow. I don't know
Well,
why.
you wouldn't lose it. That's for sure.
Probably.
It's interesting. I don't see many. I guess these were vehicles that were just, inexpensive and people used them until they fell apart.
Until
But
they
you don't
rusted.
see many old ones anywhere,
No.
I mean, not real old ones from the 60s. Obviously, you see some that are 10 years old and they're still going strong. But you don't see the original ones around at all. I guess they just thought they're not worth hanging on to, right?
No, and they rusted away. I mean, same thing with the original Beatles. How many of those do you see on the road
Yeah.
anymore? I know of one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
So this is terrific. But this brought Toyota into the lexicon of America, and
Put it
people
on
fell
the
in love with
shopping
it.
list. Yeah, people said, hey, you want a basic
Yeah.
car, you want a first car, you want one that will run for a long time, and you don't have to spend that much money on it. Yeah, that's what happened. Still to this day, let's face it, they have a full lineup, and even the GR Corolla, the Corolla Cross and Hybrid, and of course the Corolla Hatchback and the Corolla Sedan and different trim levels, and it's still an important part of Toyota's lineup, and they still give it a lot of love when it comes to design and new features, right? This next story is an interesting one. You think usually, like Toyota listens to its customers and they build things that they want.
Hmm.
And normally that's the case. That's a good thing for business. But BMW, of course, tried to do subscriptions for heated seats and things like that. And then they got a lot of pushback. But now they're saying they are committed to them no matter what. They
Well,
feel it is the best way to go. And they are fully committed to a connected drive environment, and they see it as an essential part of the global BMW after sales strategy, which means
mm,
after profits strategy. And they're using Tesla as an example of this. Um, what do you think? I mean, people don't
well,
like this, and I guess it depends what it's for, you know.
yeah, um, I think the attitude of we're going to keep this no matter what overlooks the fact that what can bite you real bad uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the future. And maybe, I don't know, maybe people who lease these vehicles jump into the subscriptions. I don't know anyone who likes subscriptions. I don't know anyone who has a subscription. Um, I certainly don't. And I don't know. I don't know if they're actually selling a lot of subscriptions. They don't release their earnings from it.
But
Um, but I
what
just
can
don't
you
believe this will
sell
last.
when you look at, you know, they talk about, well, maybe semi-autonomous driving software could be sold as a subscription. Um, you know, when you look at that, what can you sell when you have something like a Kia that puts all of that in most all of their
Right,
models?
right.
How can you say, well, this car costs $70,000, you know, maybe $20,000 more than the Kia or the Hyundai, and oh, by the way, even it costs more, but you know, for the feature that Kia puts
Yeah,
on everyone's steering wheel, you know, lane keeping or something like that, we're going to charge you $100 a month. Um, you know,
I,
I don't get it. I don't think it's a model that flies. I know why they want to do it, but you know, I think it's like a bad launch of a vehicle. Like once it's launched and it didn't launch well with the heated seats, I think that's it. It just didn't launch well. You
yeah.
can't pull it back to the launching platform and fuel it up and try it again.
I just think I'm trying to stay away from describing this as just pure greed, but I just think whoever is running the marketing of this is ill-informed
Well,
and probably will get fired eventually.
yeah. And I think some manufacturer, and it could be maybe it is Hyundai or Kia or whoever, will say, hey, you buy a car, you buy it with everything in it,
That's it.
and we're not looking to get more money from you, you know. Um, Part of the theory here is that in an electric world, you're not going to get money from the vehicles once they go out. You know, you're not going to get them coming back for service, although they still need tires, they still need brakes. Um, but I just don't think it was presented well, and I don't know if they have to represent it as something different, but I think the idea
I don't
kind
know.
of was launched poorly, and it just, that's it. People don't want it now. So I think,
And the other companies that have tried this have stopped.
yes, they have stopped. You know,
So, I,
I
hey,
mean, I think
uh,
Mercedes still does it. Volkswagen does it with their version of the ID4 in Europe. If you want to go faster, you can pay a monthly fee. And I
okay, if
believe,
you want to go faster,
yeah,
okay. But
and rear wheel steering is an option, I believe, a subscription based option on some Mercedes. And that may also be in Europe, but I'm not sure about that. But I don't know. I think it's a bad plan.
I do too.
Well, over to Hyundai. This is not a bad plan. Hyundai is said to be adding a lot of models to its US N performance lineup. Everything's on the table: internal combustion engines, hybrids, and electric power. And they already have quite a portfolio of N vehicles. The Lantra N, of course, the new models coming out left and right. The and then the 5N. It's extensive, and it is well engineered. A lot of these vehicles, they'll go in and they'll do such detailed things like, well, the bracket for the brake pedal, we've reinforced it so it has good feel. It is very detail oriented, and I think this is going to be very successful for them.
Yeah,
It's a good thing, I think, to be a Hyundai dealer at this point. What do you think?
I think Hyundai wants to be in the same game as the rest of these, as the hot hatchback crowd,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're throughout the model lineup. And the fact is, it's prestige, it's fun. You get to own something with a great warranty and a
I
lot of
was
capability, and it also happens to be fast and nimble.
I was wondering if Hyundai said, Mercedes has M, so we'll have N, which is one step beyond M. One step beyond. What do you think?
Maybe. Uh, I think, why not?
Yeah. So
Why not? It's
what do you
below
think?
R.
There's some talk it'll be a replacement for the Kona N.
I think they're on the right track.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And there's going to be more great choice and more great vehicles from the Hyundai N Performance Division. So that's quite exciting for sure. Let's jump over into another story about Kia, Les, and it's two interior uh, based decisions here. Now, unlike BMW that said we really don't care if you don't like uh, subscriptions, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Um, the design boss over at Kia says they were interviewed by The Drive, and Tom Kearns, vice president, chief designer at the Kia Design Center, said they're going to keep buttons around because Americans want them. That Europeans don't mind using touchscreens, but Americans want them. So potentially, you might have different interiors for
Yeah.
the American market and
Uh,
the European market.
I know three people who are interested in Kia products, two of them the K4 wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and all three of them are saying, who can I talk to get a different color interior?
Well,
So it's a thing. People now I don't know about a eggplant
Yeah,
Uh,
that's our next story because Kia has gone pretty wild with their interior colors, especially on the new Telluride. As you mentioned, they have an eggplant and cream combination,
yes,
which would
yes.
be an awful dish to eat.
Well, I I would have to see it in person
uh,
um,
they have
before I
deep
made a
navy and
decision on
Tuscan
that.
umber, which is another one.
Yep.
Um, and I think this is a good idea because we all float in a sea of black, gray, and thankfully less today beige. I remember talking about
Yep.
Toyotas. It used to be all that beige tan interior
That's right.
sea of plastic. And I used to think, oh, that's kind of terrible. But so I'm all for adding more colors in there. I don't know how that floats with people. Is it too polarizing? Certainly, deep navy and Tuscan umber, I think, is um, pretty high end looking. I'm not sure if most people would like basically purple and like cream, which would be the eggplant
Yeah.
color. But variety. It's great.
I, I think people just want to be distinctive. I think people are tired of looking like everyone else, and there are people that have a navy blue Kia who want red upholstery.
Oh, you mean like people with Corvettes that say, "Give me the weirdest combination you
That's right. And
can."
one of my '65 Mustangs was dark blue with a red interior.
Although that sounds nice. That sounds kind
Yeah,
of elegant. Yeah.
I liked it. I never saw another one with it, but I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about something that has become pretty common in the auto industry, and that is recessed door handles. Let me take that
Yeah.
again. I messed that up. So let's talk about something that's been pretty common lately in the auto industry, and that is recessed door handles, right? They started out on Tesla. You open up your vehicle, they pop out. They're on everything now. They're on some of the
That's
big
right.
crossovers from Hyundai. They're on Genesis G90s. They're kind of everywhere. Flush door handles. They kind of harken back to the days of what they used to call in the customizing world shaving door handles, where you would have,
Shaving door handles.
yeah,
Yes.
you would have a popper hidden somewhere where you would pop the door open. Um, well, over in China, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, which is sort of a spooky name, but they have decided that they want to ban them. They want to outlaw them starting January
Hmm.
1st, 2027, because they say they're difficult to open and can slow rescues after a crash. Could be.
They're right.
Yeah,
They're
it could be.
absolutely right. Also, if you have freezing rain like we just had,
Yes.
you can't open them.
Yes. Yeah. So now the big thing is you might say, okay, so what? That's China. But China is the main automotive market.
They
And if
sure
they
are.
decide they're no good, we're going back to old style handles, probably on vehicles sold around the world, right?
Absolutely. Also, I think a lot of people don't really like the flush handles. I think it's people hurt their fingers sometimes when they're pushing on them. If you have long fingernails, sometimes you break them off. Uh, Sometimes you don't know which end to push. So I don't think they've been accepted that well.
I think they're probably problematic too. You've taken something that just once had a push button,
Yeah, yeah,
manual push button with a rod to connect it to the lock mechanism, and you've made it into something electronic. So, what will
yep.
they go away? I don't know. Will they be replaced by something else? I don't know. But
As always, they'll be replaced by something else. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
I think they should do like the Jets, where they had a big sticker that said "rescue" with an arrow pointing. They look
That's right.
cool.
That's right. They look cool,
Yeah,
but
and
they're disconcerting.
I'm sure somebody walked up and said, "Where's the rescue?" How about
That's
at
right.
the end of that arrow? You know?
Yep.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. Well, let's move over to a safety topic, and it has to do with whiplash. Now, of course, IIHS is the group that does the safety ratings for cars, and they've kind of driven safety in many ways
Oh,
across the
yes.
automotive industry. They do crash testing, and they've even led to things like better headlights for vehicles. Now they're going to test vehicles for whiplash prevention. And they are replacing an outdated test. The new test involves a simulated rear impact that is less destructive than a crash test. The driver's seat is removed from the vehicle and put in a test stand, and they're going to do different speeds and multiple metrics to see how the seats fare and how the head restraint, it is not a headrest, it is a head restraint, uh, contains your body, and how the seat belts contain your body. Important. Remember when they didn't have any head restraints and people would literally, their neck would hyperextend backwards when the vehicle was
Awful.
hit, and it was
Awful.
low back seats. And I remember that, even in certain pickup trucks and that, it would go, their head would smash the back window. So this is a good study. I mean, you should adjust your head restraint when you get in to make sure it is there for your head, especially if you're
That's right.
taller.
And you said the word right, head restraint. It's there to keep you from whiplash. You want it to go halfway up your head in the back and touching your head,
Right.
so that in the event of a rear end collision, of which 33% of all collisions are rear end collisions,
Yep.
you want that thing to keep your neck from whiplashing, which is
Yes.
a terrible, terrible injury.
Well, let's talk about some of the vehicles that did well, how they were tested and how they did well. The first one that got a good rating was the 2025 Audi Q3 seats. And then Hyundai Ioniq 5 got a good rating. And then the Subaru Forester got a good rating as well, along with the Toyota RAV4. And then we get into the acceptable range.
Acceptable.
Thank you. That was adequate. And
That's right.
I always
Yeah.
like when you would say that. Thank you. That was adequate. That would be vehicles like the Buick Encore GX, which doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's acceptable. The Chevy Equinox, the Honda CRV, and the Jeep Compass. Kia Sportage was acceptable. Mercedes-Benz GLB class, acceptable. Outlander from Mitsubishi, acceptable. Taos from Volkswagen, acceptable. And Volkswagen XC, acceptable. One vehicle, BMW X1, got marginal rating.
Yes, marginal. Now for the extra Shazam feature that you can subscribe to,
to get a better head restraint.
the BMW X1 will give you an acceptable rating.
Nissan Rogue got a marginal. And then we get into the poor section.
Yeah.
Ford Bronco Sport, poor. Hyundai Tucson, poor. And Mazda CX-50, poor. So how fast do manufacturers say, hey, this is a new thing IIHS is doing? They're going to call it out, and the specs will be out there, how soon do they, let's say, start redesigning?
Oh, I can guarantee you they're redesigning. BMW, Nissan, Ford, Hyundai, Mazda are redesigning right now.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as they hear about this, they say, okay, engineers, get in there, figure out a fix.
And then we'll get it tested. And then they probably are
Yeah,
knocking down the IIHS doors to say, hey, would you test this again? And
yeah.
we'd like to get a redo on it. So it's great. I think it will be a great test. And, let's face it, rear end collisions are probably the most common, I would imagine, right?
It's your odds of if you're in a crash, you have 33% probability of getting hit in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not prepared and if you have the wrong vehicle, you could be in for an awful lot of pain.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, some other people that are in for pain of a different kind is people looking to buy the brand new RAV4 2026 model at certain dealers. Apparently, there's such a demand for the RAV4 2026 model. Dealers are back in business and are inflating the price by thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Here we go.
Uh, don't buy it
Yeah.
from that dealer. Just don't. Order it from a dealer in Cleveland or something, or just wait.
Yeah.
But
yes, I would rather pay for a plane flight in a hotel room to get it at a fair price than give it to them. That's what I think.
I have no tolerance for dealers who do this. I just believe it's unprofessional business. I think it's insulting, and you can buy something else.
Yes, or buy the same thing from somewhere else.
Or buy the same thing from somewhere else, but just don't throw your money at these people. You're encouraging them.
Yes, you're encouraging bad behavior. For example, RAV4 Limited was listed in San Jose, California, with a $4,700 price markup. Another one in Palo Alto was added $4,000. And it goes on. Kansas City was another one. I just don't. There's no reason to pay a markup on this vehicle because you can find it, at sticker or even under sticker, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's
now
my
if you
view.
have to buy one, go to the dealer and say, I want a RAV4, but I want to order it from the factory.
Yeah.
If you order it, two things happen. One is you get exactly what you want. Number two is the dealer gets an additional allocation as a reward for getting an order. So in addition to your order, they get another allocated RAV4 as a thank you. So tell the dealer, I know this, and you ain't marking mine up because I'm ordering it, but you can mark up the extra goodie that I just gave you all you want, but don't you dare mark mine up.
And the thing is, what if you go to a dealer and you say, oh, I want one with this option, this one, I want to order it, and they have that one on the lot?
I won't buy it.
Yeah, they'll say, well, we'll sell you that one. No, I don't want that one.
I don't want it. No.
Well, it's got the carpet protection package, the spray. It's spray can.
Order it. Yeah.
And other goofy crap that you don't want on a vehicle. So that's probably worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just don't do it. I mean, that is the key here. That is the takeaway. Just don't do it. It's just not worth it,
Yep.
and it's not. I don't know. It's not right. It's not right. Hey, over to Ram. Apparently, the Drive was talking to everyone in the auto industry this week. Uh,
Yeah.
but we'll tell you a little bit about Tim Kuniskis, who is the head of Ram, and he said I was talking about the new Dodge Dakota. Dodge Dakota. That goes back to that's what it used to be called, the Ram Dakota. Ram Dakota is going to be their mid-size vehicle, and he said it has to be more of a truck, a real truck. It can't be a trucklet. It has to be something real. Um, he thought that basically it wouldn't need a V8 engine, but it has to be capable of doing work. And of course, they could put that great Hurricane 6-cylinder in there that's at 500 horsepower. That would be more than
Yeah.
enough.
Well, that's substantial.
Yeah. Um, Heating up, the mid-size pickup trucks are heating up. Once again, this sounds more like a competition for the Ford Ranger than it does for the Ford Maverick, because this is a more of a real truck.
Yeah.
And you wonder, is GM going to do anything about their Colorados and things like that? They
They
just don't
better,
seem to
'cause
get
talk
press.
about long in the tooth.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're beyond nostalgia.
Yeah,
They
they're invisible in the market, you know?
yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean,
they've got to do something.
well, you look at this would be competition for, let's say, the Nissan Frontier, vehicles like
Mhm.
that, where they have some decent power. They have body on frame. They have, hauling capability, towing capability. I think they'll do well. I think they'll do well with this. I don't think we have any uh, date for this release of the Ram Dakota, do we?
No, but I would think maybe as early as late this year.
Wow. Okay, that might be a little early, but we'll see.
It's yeah, they want it out. I mean, they certainly want to get it out quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. They absolutely do. Hey, let's talk about a weird problem GM is having with some of its crossovers. And this is a bad problem. If you're in the Northeast or anywhere where it's snowing heavily, brutally cold winter with a lot of snow, this affects crossovers, including the Traverse, the Acadia, and the Enclave. Basically, the all-wheel drive turns off, and there's no fix for it other than they go to the dealer, they disconnect the battery for 20 minutes, it resets the diagnostic code, and then it will eventually reappear. This is a service bulletin, PIT 6479. And this is not a real fix. This is just in the meantime.
It's just a patch. And the problem is, it's an all-wheel drive. It's failing when you need all-wheel drive.
More than ever, yes.
Here in the East Coast, which has turned into the tundra.
The frozen tundra, yes.
This is unfortunate. I hope they come up with a fix.
Yeah, they have to. It's also, according to GM Authority, the Traverse and its corporate cousins, including Acadia and Enclave, have suffered from issues including engine coolant troubles, low oil pressure warnings, and problem with transmission components. That sounds like a beautiful salad of problems, doesn't it?
Yeah. Exactly when you don't need them.
Yes, exactly. So we'll keep you up to date on that if we hear any real fixes for that. But over at GM, we'll stay over at GM. There is some interesting news or some spy photography of a photo shoot of what is believed to be the 2027 Corvette Grand Sport. Now, the Grand Sport, of course, has had the slash marks on the front fender when it was
Right.
in the last model before it went away. And now this new one had the slash marks on the rear fender. The theory is the engine's in the back, so you put the slashes by the engine. I don't know, but this one did. I've seen the pictures of it. What they're saying, this was an Admiral Blue, and this is coming for the 2027 model year. It's one of those cases of, we'll inadvertently forget to put the car cover on it, I think. But
Yeah.
somebody was driving past, and he said it looked sort of like a shoot. They had motorhomes and, photography equipment, and there was the car sitting there. Yeah, so typically the Grand Sport was the wide body of the Z06, but it didn't get the Z06 powertrain, and then it didn't get the aluminum frame. In this case, the theory is power will come from GM's brand new 6.7 liter V8. This thing is going to put out probably around 550 horsepower. 6.7 liters less is 409, so it is real fine. And it will be called the LS6. It's hard to know if this engine, the 6.7 liter, will make its way eventually to the Stingray. Maybe not. Maybe it will be a one-off in the Grand Sport, although I tend to doubt it. This kind of will slot in between the Stingray and the hybrid E-Ray. So probably about the $80,000 mark, but it will be a great addition to the C8 model lineup, which is completely fleshed out with everything from the Stingray all the way up to the ZR1X and everything in between.
Cool.
So pretty cool stuff.
Cool.
Hey, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Cruise Control Motoring. Don't forget to give us a like or a follow or subscribe. We really appreciate that. Hey, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Cruise Control Motoring. If you get a moment, give us a like, a follow, or a subscribe. We appreciate all that help on social media. It means a lot. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staab. He's Les Jackson. We're going to see you down the road.